araw mga kababayan, ako si Chloe Ramirez and welcome to Unlad, Pilipinas. Para sa episode ngayon, ating bibigyan pansin ang sexual harassment. We will be talking about the basic concepts and also the current situation of sexual harassment in the Philippines. With us today is the former UP Office of Anti-Sexual Harassment Coordinator, Ma'am Peach Mondiging, who will not only give us her insights but also provide us with a closer look as to today's situation on sexual harassment. So good afternoon, ma'am. Welcome to Unlad, Pilipinas.
Hi, good afternoon.
So, Ma'am Peach, to make everything clearer, what is the accepted and universal definition of sexual harassment?
Well, I don't know if this is accepted, but actually there is a general definition for sexual harassment. Because usually we define sexual harassment based on the law, right? Or policy. But in general, sexual harassment is something that's unwanted, unwelcome, conduct, behavior, attention, or conduct that is sexual in nature.
What are the different forms of sexual harassment?
Well, we have basically three. Physical, like touching, pinching, or caressing. We also have verbal, when people just call you names or something, or say something that's very objectifying, very demeaning, so that's verbal. And visual, like maybe sex texting, that's visual harassment, or showing lewd photographs and other things that are very visual, which are not acceptable.
What are the chances of experiencing this while interacting with a community?
Actually, sexual harassment can happen anywhere. But like I said, our law sometimes it's very limiting. Like they define sexual harassment, they limit it only, they confine it only to definite places like your workplace and your when it's either teaching or it's a work environment or education environment. So when you're in the community, it's not a working environment, right? So, but of course, sexual harassment still happens there. Usually, like if our students, when they get assigned to field work or something, then they also get harassed by their co-students sometimes, because we notice that when you're out, like you become more free. So they sort of think that they can do whatever they want to their classmates or something. So they have a freer, sort of a freer environment. But you can also get harassed by the people who are like the people in the community who think, especially if they know that you're different, that you're you're outsiders, right? So they can usually impose whatever it is that they think of you, like, hey, Miss Beautiful or something, or they can catcall you or something, or they can say that, may I see if your hair is really that, soft, or things like those. That's why we always say that when you go to the community, you should be socially prepared. You have to know who the people are, what action is appropriate there, what is acceptable.
Even in the context of school or university, it is possible for a student or a professor or staff to experience sexual harassment.
Yeah, it's very possible.
Yes.
Actually, especially here in UP, because way back in the 90s,
yes,
several professors were found guilty of harassment. There was no law then, no sexual harassment law. So the UP, our university itself, they came up with a committee to look into the situation. And so our policy on sexual harassment was actually created even before the law was passed. So we are very well aware that it happens, especially since, the university, even if we have very good professors, we have very good students, but it usually happens because the male always think that they're more entitled, to express their opinion about women. They usually objectify them, and the women are not trained to fight back, so they usually just, keep quiet.
Have you ever seen any instances where the female was the one who initiated it?
Based on my stay here, there were only 2 reported cases wherein it was a female who harassed a male. One was a graduate student who became obsessed with her professor. So she stalked him whenever she waited for the teacher to come out, and then walked with him to his car, opened the car door for him, wrote him letters, things like those, and persistently gave him attention until finally the professor came to us and reported. And then the other one was also a student who became obsessed with an employee, a male employee.
Bilang ang mga mag-aaral, ang karamihan sa ating mga manonood ngayon, ano po ang maaaring gawin nila kung pakiramdam nila sila'y nahaharas o kaya may kilala po silang sexually harassed?
Pero ang gusto ko lang masabihin kasi parang ang sexual harassment is something that you feel. So one thing for you to find out that you're being already harassed is that you don't feel good about the action or the behavior towards you. Yun na yung that's how your hint or how you will determine that it's sexually harassing. So what can you do about it? Well, here in school, then you can always be alert. Na in case it's happening, you tell that person that you don't like it. I don't want you touching me this way or something like that. Or else you can always, in case we are also, of course, warning our professors not to, ask your students to go in your room or something whenever they need advice. Always open the your room so that nothing. And if in case that happens, then you should always have somebody with you, or we're also warning students not to go with your professor in case he or she invites you to somewhere. Just to, so that this thing will not happen.
So, very important po na may awareness po yung mga students, yung youth po.
Yes.
Hindi lang po yung mga youth, pati na rin lahat po ng mga Filipino citizens. So, ayan. Once again, everyone, Ma'am Peach Mondiging, we are truly grateful for spending a part of your time with us. Certainly, we gained a lot of insight that not only educated, but also gave us an idea of how important it is to be aware. Thank you very much, ma'am.
Okay, you're welcome.
Ayan po. And there you have it, mga kababayan. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay. Muli, ako si Chloe Ramirez para sa programa kung saan ang pagsulong ng bayan ang ating adhikain. This is Unlad, Pilipinas.